One of my favorite movie series is Harry Potter. And in the Order of the Phoenix, there's a scene where Harry is struggling with his mental connection to Voldemort. And he's talking to Sirius Black about his self-doubt, about whether he's turning into a bad person because of everything he's been through and everything that he's hearing in his head. But then Sirius replies, "You're not a bad person, Harry.
We've all got both light and dark inside us.
What matters is the part that we choose to act on. That's who we really are." This hit me hard because I realized how much I actually resonated with Harry in this moment. Of course, not struggling with some evil person like Voldemort inside my head, but Voldemort could actually be a representation of the negative parts of our mind. So for the last few months, I've been personally struggling not posting a video because I was giving in to that little voice inside my head, like my own Voldemort. We've all heard it before. We have that little voice inside our head that tells us that we're not good enough, that you're not ready for something big in your life. What you just said was so stupid and embarrassing that you need to get out of the freaking room. Like, we've all heard that voice before. But it's crazy because that's not the real you. It's not the you that you need to listen to. And I'm grateful to have had that time in the last few months because now I've taken time to look more objectively at my life. And I realized that what I was doing was looking more at the negative things, the wrong things. Over the years, I've learned that my brain just understands the best in black and white. So let's just start here, okay? There's negatives and positives to literally everything in the universe. But our brains easily just keep pulling us over to the negative side, kind of like a tug of war, meaning we just remember more of the negatives than we do the positives in our life. This is something that's called the negative bias or the negative effect. And from a historical standpoint, this is something that helped our ancestors whenever there was a threat in the environment. It really made them sensitive to those threats so that they could protect themselves. That's not necessarily something that we need in today's society, but it does still exist and it still controls our lives. So what we're doing when that's happening is we are training the brain to be more negative. And the only way that I could really think about it is, let's say you're skiing or snowboarding and you keep going the same path over and over again. There's now going to be a path of least resistance that you're just going to keep going down. If you ever pave another way, it's just going to be much harder. And that's what I think of when we have negative thoughts that we've thought over and over again, and then we try to challenge that thought or think a more positive thought. It just gets really hard, but it's not impossible to do. It just takes repetition and needing to go that path over and over again like we have with the negative thoughts. Going back to the beginning of how Harry felt, questioning ourselves and having that self-doubt, in my mind, I feel like it's a really good thing. And it's a good thing because it really gives us a chance to take a step back, think about it, and self-reflect. Whenever I would tell myself that I wasn't good enough, that I'm not smart enough, I was thinking of all the times that maybe I was good enough and times where I was smart enough. I was constantly finding evidence to challenge those thoughts. And you do it enough times, your brain kind of gives up on the negatives. We can then use that information to consciously no longer feed into that negative cycle, tell ourselves that that's just not who we want to be anymore. That's not who we are. That shit is done. Like, you tell your brain that it's not you, period. Stopping the habit of thinking negative thoughts is hard in itself. And there's something that I remember from years ago when I first learned about spirituality. It's a recording by Earl Nightingale. In the recording, he says that the universe, God, the higher power, whoever you believe in, does not care what you plant in your mind, whether it's a good thought or a bad thought. He describes it kind of like, let's imagine that you're a farmer, and in one hand you have a seed of corn, in the other hand you have poison, and you put both in the soil. It rains, both of them will grow at the same rate. And just like the mind, the soil does not care, the universe does not care what you plant, it'll just give you back what you give in. So knowing that and keeping that in mind, I think also helps us take a step back and be more aware of the thoughts that are going on, weeding out the ones that we don't want to listen to. One of the main things that I've learned in spirituality is that life itself, just at the foundation, at its core, is love. So if you're having trouble figuring out what side of you to really listen to, anything that is not pure love is negative and not you. Whether you think it's true or not doesn't matter. All that matters is what you choose to do right now with the person that you are, and think about the person you want to be. So in the words of Sirius Black, we all have light and dark inside of us. What really matters is what we choose to act on. That's who we really are. So who are you?